Hi guys, welcome back to another F.T.A.C Bushcraft video. Today I'm going to be talking you through my personal sleeping system. Now I'm not going to be covering shelters in this video as we've already got multiple videos covering that. So this is going to be solely on my sleeping setup, what I like about it and what I might change in the future. So moving from the ground up, this here is just a basic tarp. I believe it's a 3x3 metre and I've just doubled it over like that. And what this does is it just helps to cut out the majority of the dampness that rises up from the ground overnight. Now on top of this, I then put my sleeping system. This is literally just to protect me from the ground once I've cleared it and made it nice and level. I don't bother about pegging it down with these eyelets because obviously I'm sleeping on top of this, so I weight it down enough and this doesn't catch in the wind. Now I've used this tarp probably for 4 or 5 years and this has really helped elevate my sleep at night. You know, there's nothing more important than a good night's sleep, especially when you're out in the field. And this tarp just keeps that damp away from my body and then helps to protect my underlayers. So the next layer of protection for the ground is my Rab Storm bivy bag. Now what this does is it sits on top of my tarp and it's made out of a polyurethane material, and this is essentially completely waterproof and protects you from the rain. Now on the inside, all the seams are taped and really well stitched together, so I believe overall this is a really robust product. Now really this is my first year actually using a bivy bag. You know, I've never tried them before until this year, but I'm getting really well on with it, and despite the mixed reviews, I'm happy with this product and I'll continue to use it into the future. So what this does is it protects my sleeping bag from the rain. Now this is a fully waterproof coating. I believe it's made out of polyurethane fabric, completely round, and it's got a resistant, durable base if you want to use it straight on the ground. The top, again, is polyurethane. And then here on the zip, we have some breathable material, this mesh. Now one problem with bivy bags is they can be quite prone to condensation, but I've seen mixed reviews on this Rab system, but personally I've used this probably about 6 to 8 times now in heavy rain and I've never had a problem with it. Now moving on inside my bivy bag we have my ground mat. Now this is a mountain equipment helium 3.8, the R value is 3.8 in it, so for British weather it's about adequate. I mean, people recommend a 4, but I've had no problems with this. Again, it's really well made. It's slightly thicker than the conventional mat, such as what F.T.A.C would make, but I find with the areas that we're camping in, a bit of robustness doesn't hurt. All the seams here have extra material on, really well stitched together and glued. You take it out, on the underside, you can see here, it's got different compositions of foam inside, where the air pockets sit. Here is cooler. Now in the middle here, where your body is, it's much more insulating. And again, where your head is, it's also creating air pockets to be slightly cooler. And what this allows is a really good mat that can be ventilated all through the summer, that keeps you nice and warm without keeping you too hot. At the top here, we've got a self-filling valve, pull to open, and the mat will deflate. And it also self-inflates, so from empty, this thing will fill up nearly 3/4 full, and probably you have to give it about 6 breaths to get it to the desired pressure. Overall, really good product, you know, no issues with this so far. With a slightly thicker coating on it, just less prone to popping, which I'm pleased about because I've looked into F.T.A.C products and they just look so thin that, you know, for woodland settings like this, we've got brambles everywhere, it's just too risky for multi-day adventures. So the last component to my sleep system, a sleeping bag. This here is a Snugpack base camp. Now I've had this sleeping bag I believe for about 4 years and it's been a great bag to me. You know, I've very rarely been cold in it. The rating is down to -2 comfort but -7 as a low. I wouldn't want to take it that low. I don't think it would be very comfortable at all, but you know, for the typical British summers and winters, it's perfect. Again, down the side here we've got a traditional side zip. Now it goes 3/4 of the way down the bag. It allows you to really open this up for ease of access and also ventilation in the summer should it be too hot. Now up near the head we've got this little toggle here, what this allows us to do is cinch the bag up tight. Now this is basically where your shoulders are. So what this does is it keeps any heat from your lower body trapped in there and it can't escape through the head hole. Now moving on up, we can also restrict the head right down. So on a colder night, this protects us from the wind, any unwanted elements, and just helps to keep our head insulated. And now another good thing that I really like about this sleeping bag is the fact I can put my pillow in this little head area here, cinch this down tight, and that stops my pillow wobbling about. That's a really good trick for anyone that has this particular bag or any bag with this drawstring. I definitely recommend you try that out. Down here at the base, we've got two little loops. Now these are really useful if you want to dry the bag and air it out overnight. I really recommend that with any sleeping bag, after an expedition, you dry them out, even if they're not damp, you know, just to get any sweat or residue out of the bag, any dust, bits of pine needle, soil, anything, as they'll all damage the material over time. Now, the last thing in my sleep system is this little pouch here. Now I know it looks big, but this actually compresses right down when I pack the bag in. So, in here is my pillow. It's filled with an air bladder, really comfortable. It's an Outwell, go look them up, great brand. And in here I also keep a base camp merino t-shirt. This is just for sleeping in. I keep a beanie for colder nights and a snood to sleep in as well. Now this is all separate equipment for what I normally wear. I always take two snoods, one for night, one for day, just to eliminate the potential risk of sweating. Now always, before you go in your sleeping bag for the night, get out your wet kit, get into some dry kit, as that sweat, when it cools down, will make you cold as hell. Now just for scale, this here is another sleeping setup, very similar to mine, but I'm just showing you the scale of what it looks like under a 3x3 meter tarp. So there you go guys, this concludes the sleeping setup video in the F.T.A.C series.